Hello and welcome to the Denver Homes Market Report. I know you're enjoying the monthly podcasts. Did you know Denver also has a website for potential home sellers and buyers alike? It's pretty easy to remember. The monthly podcast, the Denver Homes Market Report, and your Denver real estate website is www.denverhomesmarket.com. I try to keep the website fun. I created several modes. These modes are specially curated lists of homes. So let's say you list a luxury home with me. The threshold are homes that are listed at $1 million and higher. Your home automatically goes into my luxury mode search engine. It is then blasted out to everyone who is subscribed to my luxury mode. Your home is also featured in my featured listings page. It's right there on my website. And for those who are not subscribed, buyers can still click on the tab Luxury Mode and they would find your home there as well. Now, the reason I work so hard to find creative ways to get your home in front of more interested buyers is simple. Whether you're selling an entry-level home through my affordability mode, a luxury home through my luxury mode, or perhaps your home is near one of the top-rated schools here in the Denver metro area, your home would be featured on my education mode. See, the larger net I can cast for your home, the better chance we have of, not just getting an offer. I mean, come on, let's be real. I could leave your home off the MLS, not even list your home. I could simply just stick a sign in your front yard that says home for sale. I bet your home would get an offer. The issue with that is there is a huge difference in just getting an offer and exposing your home to as many potential buyers as possible, which will result in the full market value for your home. When you expose your home to more buyers, you increase your chances of finding that special buyer who just absolutely loves your home and it is their dream home. They are willing to not just put in an offer, they are willing to write a very strong offer. They will even fight to compete with other potential buyers. So sure, stick a sign in the yard may result in a sale. But did you really expose your home to the full market? Of course not. So the chances you received the full market value for your home is highly doubtful. You are selling one of the biggest investments, if not the biggest investment of your life. You do not want to be second guessing yourself or doubting if you received the best offer you could have just by hiring the right real estate broker who thinks outside the box and works to bring more potential buyers to your home than anyone else would have. That's what I do. I bring 18 years plus experience to the table to help you maximize your home's potential. And the way I do this is by making sure, in addition to all the regular places like the local MLS and Zillows and Redfins and Trulias and all those, of course your home's going to show up in all those areas. But I take that even further and I find more potential buyers by thinking outside the box with my marketing. I also cover all the marketing expenses for your home, including professional photography and a Matterport virtual tour. The best in the business. I use orchestrated light real estate photography. Okay, so now you know at least two things by listening to today's podcast. The first one is, yes, sticking a sign out in your yard or some other half-hearted, half-baked marketing launch of your home will probably result in you getting an offer. Did you likely get full market value? Almost certainly not. Then secondly, not all realtors provide the same level of service. Different realtors have different skill sets, different marketing plans, and just like anything, some are better at finding the right buyer than others. So what else should we talk about today? Oh yes, the housing market. And what's the biggest sticking points? Well, we have two major things going on. And given the geopolitical climate and not wanting to get into the whole politics game on here, regardless of how any of us feel about the conflict going on with Russia and Ukraine, anytime we have major conflict in the world, we are a global economy and it will, in one way or another, it's going to affect us all. So let's talk about two things in the housing market that are concerning me right now. The first and the kind of easy one to talk about are the interest rates. I have never, not in my 18 plus years of real estate, have I ever been so sure that interest rates are going to rise. Mortgage rates have already risen and they have just begun. The Feds are going to start their rate hike routine very soon. And each time they meet for the next year or so, they will likely bump up the interest rates just a little higher. So a year from now, will interest rates be at 6.5%? That is entirely possible. I mean, rates right now, with great credit and at least 20% down, you are looking somewhere around 4.25% for a 30-year fixed mortgage. So will they rise more than 2% from today's pricing? It certainly could happen. So does this mean the prices of homes start to drop? That is going to be a very region by region issue. Some areas may see prices drop. Some metro areas where the inventory is low and the demand is high may still continue to see an uptick in prices, albeit at a slower pace than what we had saw when the rates were down around 3%. If the rates do go up to the neighborhood of 6%, you may see some home prices drop. And for buyers, you might think, wow, this is great. Until you realize from a monthly payment standpoint, you may be better off paying $100,000 more for your house at a lower interest rate. Buying a home for $500,000 instead of $600,000 for a very comparable home, that feels great. But that can easily be outpaced with a higher interest rate. Let me make this very clear for all of us. If last year you bought a home and you paid $600,000 for it, you put down 20%, you were lucky and you locked in on that dip of 2.9% for a 30-year fixed rate. Your payment and principal, or your principal and interest payment right now is right around $2,021 a month. Now, let's say you are one of the folks who predicted the market would crash. Let's say it does crash. First and foremost, it will be much harder to get a loan. But let's say you have, great credit, you can still get a loan, you were excited, the housing market has crashed, homes just like that $600,000 home that sold last year is now listed at only $500,000. I mean, cha-ching, right? You are saving $100,000 just from a short time ago. But wait, you put down your 20%, you lock in your rate, which is now 6%, and guess what? Your payment is now $2,398 a month, almost $400 more per month than your neighbor who spent $600,000 on their home. That is the reality. Loans will be harder to get in a crash, and the rates very well could outpace any savings. In fact, you may pay more, much more. That's going to sting. I mean, $400 a month for just 1 year is almost $5,000. Your loan goes for 30 years. There went that $100,000 savings. In fact, you take that loan to term and you'll end up spending $150 more just in interest. So let's all hope for a soft landing, a little leveling out, and maybe the demand softens just a bit and rates rise just a bit and we find some balance in the real estate market. And that balance brings me to my next point. And that, my friends, is our inventory. How many homes do you think were available for sale in the Denver MLS last year for all of February? So I'm talking February 2021. We had approximately 14,000 active listings that month. Now that's an incredibly low number. I mean, February 2020, we had 23,000 active listings. So this number last year in 2021 being 14,000 active listings for February was already super low. Now here we are. We just wrapped up February 2022. And now where are we? Well, we only had 6,800 active listings. I mean, that's crazy low. 23,000, 14,000, and now most recently, 6,800 active listings. This is why I'm not so sure, even with the interest rates slowly climbing, that the demand will fall away all that much. And if demand doesn't fall away all that much, that means prices won't fall that much either. Of course, those who were on the bubble last year, who could just barely afford a home, even if they could lock in a rate at 3% mark and be able to qualify, those folks, for right now, they're out. You'll only have to give it a year or so, and the lenders will find a mortgage program that's going to accommodate these buyers who no longer qualify for these conforming loans. They will find creative ways. You better believe they're going to be more expensive, they're going to be harder to get, and the thresholds will be with higher rates. But these loans will be, cost more, and the fees and things will be a little higher, or maybe the mortgage insurance, or some combination of those. So that's my show for the day. This is Ricky Schoonover, Mode Denver Real Estate. I hope you enjoyed the podcast. You can always find my podcast simply by asking your smart speaker, please play my podcast, the Denver Homes Market Report. You can also visit my website, denverhomesmarket.com. Have a great month. We'll catch up at the beginning of April. I hope you'll come out to my neighborhood here in La Alma, Lincoln Park, also known as the Arts District on Santa Fe. The very first Friday of every month, we have a huge art walk with all the art galleries open. If you really go digging around in the buildings, you'll find some basements with live music. You'll find glasses of wine to enjoy while you're checking out the artwork. You can also have opportunities to purchase artwork, which then supports the local creatives right here in my district. If you do come out, shoot me a text, 720-688-5110. I'm usually out and about on each first Friday. Maybe we can meet up for a drink and at the one of the local watering holes. Other than that, have a great month, and we'll check in next month.